So recently I read a book on Jim Jones' life. He had a very difficult upbringing, and interestingly enough, he formed agreement with the Christian faith at a very, very, very young age. And it seemed as though he sought love and significance through creating his own familial environment. As a young child, he didn't quite grasp his self-worth from his parents, and he had a very troubled childhood, which is interestingly enough a common denominator amongst the psychological predispositions to people that inevitably become great leaders. Now, I wouldn't say he's a great leader, however, apart from the moral ambiguity there, in essence, he was a great leader because he was convicted enough to get people to do what he wanted.
What he was leading was just questionable.
What he was leading was extremely questionable, is what it became, which was he had this interesting. So it's funny because when he started, his church was very open to all groups of people. He was very keen, and this is in an era where race was a big issue. He was very keen on African Americans, meaning he fought for their rights. Like, he was totally the antithesis of what he became, which was someone that ended up hurting a lot of people in the beginning. And he actually had, it's interesting, so later in life he became more disillusioned from the United States white picket fence, American dream ideologies and all the things that we say we stand for, but we do contradict sometimes. Although, of course, I believe, we're trying our best. But so he became more disillusioned, and like most that kind of go off the deep end, if you take a person, right, that's supposed to be in a familial, we're a social organism.
Yes, we are.
You take somebody and you put them on an island by themselves for a long time. What happens? Like that movie.
You start talking to a volleyball.
Exactly. You read my mind. You start talking to a volleyball. So Jim Jones, in essence, went through something similar, where they moved to another country, him and about 800, maybe 1,000 people, and that's where things start to get out of alignment. Now, when you've got people that believe in you, that believe in your convictions, and they speak your word, now you've got power. So what ended up happening was people did want to go home. And that's where people wrote to politicians in the States that they wanted to go home. And this one guy, don't remember his name, came to the island that Jim Jones had, or South American country. Senator, there you go. And unfortunately, he was killed with the whole convoy. And that's where they forcibly, not just because of his influence, but forcibly asked people to drink the Kool-Aid. So what's the learning lessons from studying someone like Jim Jones, and why would anyone do it? Same reason we'd study anyone that has ever been influential, whether good or evil. How?
What are the common denominators?
Yeah, what are the common denominators of their success? Because what if we could take those and use those for good? What if we could learn from Darth Vader and choose to fight for the Republic? Now my nerd is coming out, right? Okay. What if we can learn? So what if we can learn about the Force, but use it for good? And cults are a great case study for learning how to build culture in an organization. That's positive, obviously, because that's your choice.